So Excellency, recently Greece became a transit point, and or rather say central transit point and pathway for sea of migrants entering the Europe via Greece. How Greece has coped up with this crisis economically and politically?
Well, pictures, are superior to words. So I would like to show this from an Indian paper, a picture taken in the Mediterranean, full of a boat in a lamentable state, full of people traveling to Europe. This shows vividly the size of the human drama that Europe as a whole faces since 2 years now, because of the crisis and instability in the wider region. And I would like to mention here that Greece sits at the top of a triangle of instability that extends from Ukraine to Libya and Syria. Therefore, being the first continental entry point to the European Union and to the European continent, we face this tremendous challenge of people coming, destitute, desperate people coming over to Europe. The nature of the Greek coastline makes it even more difficult to control the borders, because you have tiny islands and this is not a land border, so that you draw a line and you say this is country A, this is country B, you stop here, etc. You see these boats, many of them capsizing in the middle of the Aegean Sea, and then coming over to Greece. What can Greek Coast Guard or policemen do? Shoot at these people fighting the waves? We have had so many victims. Therefore, it was a humanitarian duty that our government immediately said that we will face with our means, very meager means, because the country in those tiny islands, you cannot even impose, and install big camps to receive these people. So it is a huge drainage on our financial and human resources. But we believe that humanity has to be put first.
Okay, Ambassador, so you were talking of humanity, that is a concept which informs the concept of Europe itself.
Indeed.
Now, Brexit, British exit from the European Union, which has taken place, which is in the process, the unfolding. Now, in that context, how do you see, because the immigration crisis and the fear about it was played up in the whole referendum and campaign for referendum. So, how do you think that it is going to impact, intra-European economic transactions, relationship, and particularly with Britain?
Well, this is a sovereign decision of a sovereign people, and we regret it, but we respect it. We have no choice, either as Greece or 27 remaining EU member states, to say anything about that. The question now and the challenge is to make this exit of Britain as orderly and as quick as possible, because any protracted uncertainty will have an inescapable effect on economy. And this is the wish of the Greek government. Allow me, however, to make a comment here that this exit, or Brexit, has revealed some malfunctions or some dark points of the European construction process. From something that in the 60s and 70s and 80s reflected the wish of the peoples and had a very sound basis in the public perception throughout the European Union, it has become something that is synonymous. It is unfortunate, but it has become synonymous to austerity, to lack of transparency, to lack of democratic accountability. I don't say that these complaints are justified. I say that they are there, they exist, so it comes on the political personnel in all member states and in the European central institutions to relaunch the idea of Europe, because Europe is so necessary. I mean, united Europe is so necessary to us Europeans that even if it did not exist, it should have been invented.
Okay, Mr. Ambassador, so thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
being with diplomacyindia.com. This is VN Jha along with Amay Sathe for diplomacyindia.com at the Embassy of Greece in New Delhi.